Welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we are tackling the pop bumpers on the Wildfyre. I want to take them completely off the board so I can work on cleaning the board off. And what I notice is a neat design with the stern is they have a main power point, which is kind of hard to see right here. But you can see there's a tab just a little bit right here, and then you get a group of wires. So we get a group of white wires that are right here that I'm going to take off. I might have to add a little bit of solder to this just to make it a little more easier to take off. Sometimes it's easier to add solder to remove solder. It just like makes everything flow better. It's kind of a weird thing, but it does work. And see how good it worked. Now these, I think I'm just going to cut that solder off there. I'll just re-strip that out and then twist them together. There. Alright. Hopefully we won't need any more solder. Now these, like I said, I'm just going to cut this off. So I can have 3 separate wires. And then 3 separate wires. These are pretty much long enough where I can stretch them to get back to the contact, so they all hook it back up, which is good. Alright, so now these are all free floating alone by themselves, each pop bumper assembly. So what I'm going to do is get these off. Let me turn my, what do you call it, off? Did I just bump you? Let me get the pop bumper bodies away from the mechs, because the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to clean them. I need one of my wrenches for that. I believe it's this, the gray one. No way, is that loose? No, that is just loose. I've never had that before. Let go of my shirt. There we go. That is a new one there. Light scraps. I can honestly say I've never experienced that before with a pop bumper where the shaft on it is spinning, so I can't get the screw off. That is a very first. I'll have to see how loose that is. Same thing on our side. Is this a stern thing? Or just a high use thing? I don't know. I've never had that issue before. Alright. So now we got my electric screwdriver. Did I bump you? Again. Everybody's got their own way of doing things, and Stern was really different with pop bumpers. Isn't that odd? That is just so odd how they did this whole assembly. Oh, look at that. That's why we got screws up there. I have never seen that before. This is like the first time I've worked on a Stern early solid state. I have to say that's pretty genius kind of how they did that, because I can fully take these apart and polish them really nice. So that is kind of neat. This will be going back like that, because in order for me to rebuild these, it's going to be a two-part episode. It's going to be one part taking them apart, and then another part putting them back together. The reason why I'm doing it like that is because I need to clean the playfield. And it makes more sense for me to remove everything off the playfield that I can get my hands on to clean everything correctly. That is kind of neat how they did that. Except for this one I broke. So there's one new pop bumper assembly. I think I got spares. This one's okay. It doesn't matter anymore because one side broke. Unless again, I'm like totally in your way. I do believe I have a spare ring. I should. Yeah, I do. It's not going to be a Stern ring. It's going to be a Williams ring, but you can't tell from the top anyways. I got several of them stashed away. Remember that big bin I took apart? There's the other parts that I have. Alright, now these, we'll do the same thing. Take these screws out. These are just little metal screws. Again, kind of like Gottlieb, where they use flathead. Okay. These I'll have to zip tie to the board, but I want to do one thing before I do that. Before I get any further, and I bumped you again, I am so sorry. This will be one. I have to do that because I worked on a casino made by Chicago Coin, and all the wiring was so nice and long that what it did, it let you put them all in the wrong spot. How convenient, huh? So since it was like that, I actually put one pop bumper body on the wrong thing. So when you activated one pop bumper, the whole entire unit next to it fired, and not the one you hit. And I was like, what is going on here? These all have to go into ultrasonic cleaner, clean them off. But yeah, this whole assembly right here, you can use Williams Bally on it. It's the same. I can't fix that post since I broke it off. But like I said, I have a few spares. And then we'll put a 2 here. Now that next one I don't have to label. And you're like, well, you need to label it, Mark. Nope. There's only 3 pop bumpers, and if I don't put 1 and 1 and 2 and 2, I'm sure not going to put the unmarked one with the unmarked one. And these are just going back here temporarily because I need I don't want to leave the switches dangling. I'll rebuild the pop bumpers. Actually, you and I are going to rebuild them. And then we'll zip tie them to the board. Am I blocking you? So that's what we're going to do. These are all in good shape. And this one's got a broken, that's what that hunk of metal was. The bottom of this is broke off, but I have spare parts for those. I could label that one if I wanted to. If it made you happy, I would. That's out of the way. This assembly, we get it over the wire, and there we go. There's another one. We will take those apart in a minute. So let's get these screwed back down so they're out of my way and not dangling around so the wires can break off of them. Yeah, very interesting design how Stern did this. I don't know if it was to save wood or what. You know what I mean? Alright, I am actually going to pause the camera, get my parts out so we can rebuild these 3. But we're not going to rebuild these yet. We will take them apart and then I will clean them. When we rebuild these is when we will be putting the playfield back together. So I'm going to pause this, get all my parts that I need ready, and then we're going to come back and rebuild the coil assemblies for the pop bumpers. Alright, I believe I got all the parts. I get a new one of these that will go on that. It should be perfect. I don't think there's any other design of that right now. Yeah, that'll do it. So let's get, I have to move my phone, get at this. Let's get rid of that long screwdriver. And this was number 2. So let's get at number 1. These are that size, okay. So we will be leaving that coil stop on and working on the bottom here. And another company that want mix-up screws, Gottlieb and Stern. Wanted to use 2 different things, I see. Hey, look at that, a perfect little spot to keep my screws. These are on most pinball machines, that's where you put the prop rod. So you like this video? If you do, please subscribe to it. If it helps you out, I would appreciate it. And that's all I need is a subscribe, a like, and drop me a comment if you would do so. And that is garbage. So what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning this off. As I stated before, it is not needed to clean this off. It's not doing anything for it. It's just making it look a little prettier. Since you're already in there, might as well clean this stuff off. Man, is this dirty. Might as well clean my hands off too. Clean this stuff off. So it's clean. Why would you want to rebuild something, put it back together dirty? You know? It's just horrible metal they used on stern. Look at that. I could polish that, but I am not wasting hours and hours on something that you don't see. That is a not needed to be polished part. So let's see if these will work in there. Yes, they will. Stern uses a slightly smaller one. And this, I need a scruffy pad to clean that. Wire hack stuff. What I'm doing is it's a little rough. So I'm just taking it and smoothing it all up. It just makes all the action better, that much smoother, that much accurate. These springs are always cruddy, but I clean them off anyways. I'm just spinning it around as I'm going back and forth. As you can see, it's shiny again. Get rid of the crud off of it. This we will clean. Get the crud off there. We're going to rebuild one of these. Get it rebuilt. And then we're going to take apart one of the pop bumpers. So I'm not going to rebuild all three of them in front of you. I think that'd be kind of boring to just keep showing over and over again. But what I will do is I will use this new piece on this one because that other one was broken. I'll just show you how that works. It's like we're rebuilding the broken one, which is here. Right there's the broken piece. So let's make pretend this is the broken one. And we'll rebuild it using the new piece. Alright. Another good way to do this is you lay one down on its side, and you can see how everything went back together. This you can see went like that. We will flip that like that. See, this has a groove wore into it from hammering so much. We're going to put the groove together with this. So that groove is gone now. There. That's how that goes. New coil sleeve. Wrong way. Just from the top. That goes in there like that. This will go in there like that. Those screws that we took out will go back in there. I'm just going to get them started. Now you notice this hole is long. It'll let you adjust this if needed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my thumb here and my finger here to hold this assembly tight to the coil and tight to this assembly. And then I'm going to tighten these up. This will keep the coil and everything tight together. Get in there. I'm trying to get it right in the center. Alright, there. This is rebuilt now. Perfect, good. It's got that brand new part on there. As you can see, it's doing the job it's going to do. It's a little different. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger, but it's going to do the same exact thing. What's better about this one, it's bigger, it's beefier than the original one. So that is fully rebuilt. Alright, now since that's rebuilt, we will do this. Now you may ask, why are you doing that, Mark? Well, my whole intentions was to get these pop bumpers off so I can flip the playfield over and then clean and wax the playfield. With this removed, and now this is strapped to the wiring harness, I can flip over the playfield and these aren't just going to go dangling all over the place. I am burning through all of my containers. I have 3 pinball machines in repair right now, so I'm burning through all of the parts for them. Alright, this is next. Let's do the broken one. It don't matter, because when we put them together, we'll put them together the same way. These I'm going to bend straight so we can pull the socket out. Yeah, what's different about these is this socket should pull straight out if they didn't glob so much solder on there. We will have to desolder that to get the big globules of solder off there so it can actually pull through. It won't let me pull it through right now. So as my thing is heating up, I'm probably going to replace these wires too. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, we are just about heated up. What's nice about my Hako isn't Taco, FX888D. By the time we just got done talking to you, I keep hitting you. By the time we just got done talking about it, this thing is already heated up. And we will have to put a little bit of solder on it. It just makes everything go a little quicker. Well, if you put it on a solder side marker, it works better. Come on. There we go. Get that solder off there. Just about. I'm trying to do this as neatly as possible because these sockets are still in great shape. I used to take them out and throw them in the garbage and put brand new ones in, till I realized a lot of these original ones are better than the brand new ones. So I just clean the originals now, clean them off real good, and then reuse them if they're in good condition, if they can be reused. I will reuse them. But yeah, like I said, these work so much better. The originals seem to be like a better material, stronger or something, than the original factory ones. I mean, aftermarket ones. Okay, we got that out. Now we got to take these two screws out. When I do that, this whole assembly will come apart in pieces. Wish I had another box for this. These are just different than other ones I've done too, because these screw into the wood. On the stern, it screws into a hunk of metal, which is very odd to me. So there's two of them, very long screws. There's a spacer here that goes on the bottom to keep it up off the ground. Well, not really the ground, but the base. I'll get that lock washer too. There's that spacer. Come on, lock washer. There we go. That comes like that. Now you got the whole assembly. This should pull right out, and we broke it, which is okay, because I have brand new ones. Actually, that's usable. Oh, I got a brand new one, so this will get cleaned. These clean up beautifully. You won't even know that it's old. Here's that broken ring, which I will save for parts in case I get another stern that another one breaks. I can just throw this piece out and put another good one on here, and then this will be totally reusable. Here is the aftermarket ones, or Bally Williams. Notice how these are stamped onto there, and these are studs. It was probably cheaper to make it like this, but they're the exact same thing. They do the same job. These got little standoffs here, but they do work because it's never going to go down that far when it fires. And that's it for taking these apart. Part 2, we'll be putting these back together nice and clean. This I don't know what I'm going to do with. I'll probably take these bushings out of here, and I'll probably throw this in a tumbler. I don't know. I'll just put it in my vise and hit it with a wire wheel, and we'll clean that up. But that's it. So you learned how to pull the pop-upper assemblies off the playfield. You will have to remove the beauty ring that's on top that makes them pretty. You know, the top plastic. You'll have to remove these first. And then you can flip it over and pull the whole assembly out. So the part 2 you see after this, we will be rebuilding these back up after we clean them and do all the cool things to them. And we will be putting them back in a playfield, because the playfield will be nice and clean. And that's about it. But yeah, these are in great shape. These are fully reusable. Just a little cleaning on them and they'll be good. You don't see any cracks, and if we do have cracks, we do have brand new ones. So that's it. And there's going to be some cool stuff along the bottom of the screen you might want to click on. And take care. Please subscribe, like, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, Mark's Basement Arcade. And the usual handoff. Later.